Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. His Divine Grace, Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from Canto 4, titled Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 5, Frustration of the Sacrifice of Daksha. And we're on text 1. Atreya Vacha Bhava Bhavanaya Nidanam Prajapatir Asat Kritaya Avagamya Naradat Saparshada Sanyam Chatad Advrab Swaparshada Sanyam Chatad Advrabuvir Vidravitam Krodamaparam Adade Maitreya Vacha Bhava Bhavanya Niranam Prajapatir Asat Kritaya Avagamna Naradat Swaparshada Sanyam Chad Tad Advar. How does that go? No. Yeah, partially. It's irregular. Huh? It'll be. Yeah. No. Just irregular type of thing. Okay. Saparshada Sanyam Chatad Advara Bubir Vidravitam Krodhamaparam Adade Atrevacha Bhavanya Nidanam Prajapatir Asatkataya Avagamya Naradat Saparshada Sanyam Chatat Advarabhubir Vidravitam Krodamaparam Adade Atrevacha Atre said, Bhavaha, Lord Shiva, Vanyaha, Sati, Nidanam, the death, Prajapatehe, because of Prajapati Daksha, Asatkatayaha, having been insulted, Avagamya, hearing about, Naradat, the Barda, Swaparshada Sanyam, the soldiers of his own associates, Cha and Tat Advara, produced from his dakshas, sacrifice. Ribu Bihi, by the Ribus, Vidravitam, were driven away. Krodham, anger. Param, unbounded. Adade, showed. Translation. Maitreya said, when Lord Shiva heard from Narada that Sati, his wife, was now dead because of Prajapati Daksha's insult to her and that his soldiers had been driven away by the Ribu demigods, he became greatly angry. Purport. Lord Shiva understood that Sati, being the youngest daughter of Daksha, could present the case of Lord Shiva's purity of purpose and would thus be able to mitigate the misunderstanding between Daksha and himself. But such a compromise was not attained, and Sati was deliberately insulted by her father for not being received properly when she visited his house without being invited. Sati herself could have killed her father, Daksha, because she is the personified material energy and has immense power to kill and create within this material universe. In the Brahma Samhita, her strength is described. She is capable of creating and dissolving many universes. But although she is so powerful, she acts under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, as his shadow. It would have been difficult for Sati to punish her father, but she thought that since she was his daughter, it was not proper for her to kill him. Thus she decided to give up her own body, which she had obtained from his, and Daksha did not even check her. When Sati passed away, giving up her body, the news was conveyed by Narada to Lord Shiva. Narada always carries the news of such events because he knows their import. When Lord Shiva heard that his chaste wife, Sati, was dead, he naturally became exceedingly angry. He also understood that Bhrigu Muni had created the Ribudev demigods by uttering the mantras of the Yajurveda, and that these demigods had driven away all of his soldiers who were present in the arena of sacrifice. Therefore, he wanted to reply to this insult, and thus he decided to kill Daksha, because he was the cause of the death of Sati. Thus Lord Shiva, being extremely angry, pressed his lips with his teeth, and immediately snatched from his head a strand of hair which blazed like electricity or fire. He stood up at once, laughing like a madman, and dashed the hair to the ground. A fearful black demon, as high as the sky and as bright as 3 suns combined, was thereby created. His teeth were very fearful, and the hairs on his head like burning fire. He had thousands of arms, equipped with various weapons, and he was garlanded with the heads of men. When the gigantic demon asked with folded hands, "What shall I do, my lord?" Lord Shiva, who is known as Bhutanath, directly ordered, "Because you are born from my body, you are the chief of all my associates. Therefore, kill Daksha and his soldiers at the sacrifice." Purport. Here is the beginning of competition between Brahma Tejas and Shiva Tejas. By Brahma Tejas, Brahminical strength, Bhrigu Muni had created the Ribu demigods, who had driven away the soldiers of Lord Shiva stationed in the arena. When Lord Shiva heard that his soldiers had been driven away, he created the tall black demon, Vidabhadra, to retaliate. There is sometimes a competition between the mode of goodness and the mode of ignorance. That is the way of material existence. Even when one is situated in the mode of goodness, there is every possibility that his position will be mixed with or attacked by the mode of passion or ignorance. That is the law of material nature. Although pure goodness or Shuddha Sattva is the basic principle in the spiritual world, pure manifestation of goodness is not possible in this material world. Thus the struggle for existence between different material qualities is always present. This quarrel between Lord Shiva and Bhrigu Muni centering around Prajapati Daksha is the practical example of such competition between the different qualities of modes of material nature. Om Ganita Vidandasya, Garantha Shivakaya, Chukshuvim Mutamira, Tasmai Shivim Ham, Kantava Chalam, Palamaya, Pancha Kaburu Vishwa, Chaka, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So, I only had one dream of Prabhupada. Devotees asked, interesting, they asked Tamal Krishna Goswami one time, "Oh, do you ever dream of Prabhupada?" And Maharaj said, "A night passes where there's not a night that passes that I don't dream of Prabhupada." It's quite interesting, actually. But anyways, I only dreamt of him once, and I'm bringing it up because it's relevant what's going on at this moment right now. So Prabhupada, it was here at the temple, so we're having kirtan. We're all here having kirtan, and Prabhupada walks in, and the whole kirtan stops. And then I'm thinking in my mind, oh, there he is. So there's Prabhupada, the upper obeisances. So then Prabhupada comes in, and he comes to sit down, right, in the vyasa. And then he starts, singing, right? Starts singing and singing. And then I bring out the mic. I bring out the mic stand. I put up the mic. So So then the mic starts making, or the speaker system and the mic, they start making all this noise. It starts making all this noise, just crackling and whatever it's doing. So then Prabhupada just, he goes into the mic and he says, Kali Yuga technology. And then the dream just ended. Anyway, so this is Kali Yuga technology. Doesn't work so well. So yeah, we're coming to the interesting, or it's all been very interesting, but you could say getting closer to the conclusion of this particular pastime of Daksha and Sati, Lord Shiva, and what's going on. So here we have just heard that there has been created it says a demon from Lord Shiva, a great personality. It also says great personality, interesting enough, in the translation, right? I guess a great demon, a great personality, Virabhadra. And he's been asked by Lord Shiva to go kill Daksha and all the different men involved. So that's what's happening. That's going to happen soon. Oh my goodness. Quiet, huh? So in here, Srila Prabhupada, he mentions different, the idea of Brahma Tejas, Shiva Tejas, and Prabhupada's starting to talk about the competition between the modes of material nature, the modes of passion, the modes of ignorance, the modes of goodness, and that sometimes the soul or the living entity is conducted under the mode of goodness, and sometimes they fall down into passion, and sometimes they fall down to ignorance, and there's a competition going on. So, therefore, Srila Prabhupada would advise devotees to fight to be in the mode of goodness, which practically everything nowadays in this world is pushing us to be in the lower modes of material nature, passion and ignorance. That's what's happening. And when one falls into passion and ignorance, it's actually, both of them are extremely destructive to them. If one will damage their body, one will damage their mind, one will damage property. It's just in the mode of passion and in the mode of ignorance. It's just damaging, altogether damaging. And therefore, one of the particular qualities of a Brahmin, or one who's situated in the mode of goodness, predominantly situated in the mode of goodness, is that they're gentle. So if one is gentle, then there's not so much chance of damage, like with the body, for example. If you're in the mode of passion, and there's a lot of damage. I'll give some example of that. But also, if one's in the lower modes, great damage can be done in just relationships, just relationships with each other. In other words, if someone's not gentle. If someone's gentle, then they have gentle dealings, and usually there's not much damage in a relationship. But when we start becoming too rough with each other, then there's damage, mental damage, maybe even physical damage sometimes, or threat of physical damage. If you don't, emotional damage. If you don't stop saying or doing what you're doing, I'm going to punch you in the face. There's a threat of physical damage. I'm going to knock you out, whatever it is. Whatever nice language people like to use. So therefore, the devotees, all devotees really, they're supposed to come to the level of being gentle. Even in provoking situations, they're supposed to be gentle. Just like this door here, right? This side door. if one, if you analyze, okay, is it necessary to when it's all the way open, to grab it while it's all the way open and with all of your might, slam it? Is that really necessary? No, it's not. What a person could do is they just grab it and then they bring it close to the point of being closed, and then they just close it with a little force, and it closes. I mean, you could do the experiment if you don't believe me. But if one's not gentle, then they'll break it. And that's what happened to the door. The glass started coming off, and luckily Janardhan and Suresh came to the rescue and fixed it. And then they broke it again. And who broke it? Maybe they broke the. So, the gentle, being gentle. So that's an example of damaging property, not being gentle. Or you could damage property and your body at the same time. Like my grandfather, he was a young, passionate boy, right? Maybe in his 20s or 30s, and he's very fond of beer. He really likes beer for whatever reason. I guess because it makes him feel good. So he was out in the desert out here in SanDiego. You go out a few hours and there's a desert there with sand dunes and everything. So they would ride their dirt bikes, this and that. So he had a motorcycle, regular motorcycle. So he decided to get very intoxicated one night and ride his motorcycle from the desert into San Diego County, the city, going very fast at night while he was intoxicated. So, of course, it's a stupid thing to do, right? Mode of passion, mode of ignorance means you do stupid things. So that's what he did, and yeah, he crashed. He still lived, but he messed up. He damaged the body. His mind was okay, but he damaged the body. So you have property, you have the body, and you have different, within our relationships. Like I said, generally we're fighting with each other, we're arguing with each other, we're whatever, because of we haven't learned how to be gentle Brahmins. So yeah, it's important, and that's an aspect of the mode of goodness. Very gentle. So yeah, we should try to work on that if we want to, not damage our body and our mental body and our physical body and so many our relationships. So yeah, again, the mode of passion, the mode of ignorance, it's degrading modes, and we always have to be cautious of how we're dealing with them. And really, what's happened worldwide is that preachers of practically every religion, they have more or less failed in impressing upon people the joy of life with God, or life with God. They failed that. So in other words, within people's minds, there's an idea that religion, the process of religion, or the process of getting to God, is extremely unpleasant, extremely boring, and the ultimate goal is unpleasant. So learning how to love God is unpleasant and just horrible, and the goal of reaching, whatever, Godhead or the kingdom of God is unpleasant. Both of them are unpleasant. Bhagavad Gita, it says, Susukam kartam avyam. It's joyful. The process is joyful, and the goal is joyful. But what I'm saying is that around the world, preachers have failed to impress upon the general populace how that's not the case. So that's actually a big problem. And it's a problem for the general populace because they remain stuck in the modes of passion and ignorance. And a lot of the times, even the preachers themselves have failed to understand or experience how the process is joyful. So that's also a problem. And therefore you have, religious people doing all types of nonsense sometimes. And what does this leave people with? This leaves people with, simply the modes of passion and the modes of ignorance, and specifically just pure sense indulgence. Just like we have pure devotional service, they have pure sense indulgence. And that means that it doesn't really matter, it doesn't really matter what you do or how you do it or whatever, just as long as you could, engage your senses and sense gratification in the most, radical. It doesn't matter, whatever you like, it's cool. I saw a sticker the other day on the back of somebody's car, and it said "Celebrate diversity." And then I was thinking, like one devotee, there's the saying, unity, in diversity. So we're all different, but in different ways, but then we come together as a group, and then we're united, right? So this devotee coined the term unity in perversity, So we're all perverse, and then we unite, and then like that. So when I saw this sticker, it said "Celebrate diversity," and then I was thinking, maybe they should change it to "Celebrate perversity," because practically that's what's in the material world going on, and specifically in this particular age, Kali Yuga, it's they're really into that perversity. So it's quite a time in that. That's what's happening more and more and more, that Prabhupada would say that hog civilization, dog civilization, he would say that over and over and over again. And and that's exactly what's happening. I mean, when people come to the platform where they're just celebrating perversity, in other words, you could be perverted in so many different ways, so many sexual ways, and it's all, it's great, it's wonderful, it's freedom. And you go to the local colleges, and you could just see, you could see the degradation full on, how that's happening. So, and people say, "Oh, you Hare Krishna people, right? You Prabhupada, he would speak out against whatever homosexual marriage, or this and that, and so many different things." But when we're talking about these things, celebrate perversity, it's talking about all forms of it. It's all a nightmare. Actually, any attraction to this world in a lusty way is a nightmare for the conditioned soul. So therefore, that's why we're being urged: come to the mode of goodness, come to the mode of goodness, come to the mode of goodness, or else we won't actually understand these things. We say, "Oh, what's the problem? What's the big difficulty? Who cares?" So we won't understand it, and we won't be able to impress upon the people in general that there is an alternative, there is a higher way. So that's very important, that we get serious, actually. Because again, like we were talking the other day about this idea of meat eating. Even amongst religious people, like if you could do a survey, go to all the churches in SanDiego, go to the head leaders of every church in SanDiego, in Southern California, and ask them, is there a problem with eating meat, flesh, cows? Is there a problem? Is there a problem? And they'll politely say, no, there's not a problem. They'll go around it and beat around the bush, or they might just say it directly. They'll just say, no, there's not a problem. God gave us dominion over everything, all the animals. That means we could kill them and eat them. That's what it means. It says it in the Bible. They like quoting that one, God gave dominion to us, right? They like quoting the one too, right? God said, now you go and you procreate. I like quoting that one too. Offspring, in other words, you have sex, they like that. So what I'm saying is that in itself is such an important point in spiritual life. If it's a basic point, but it's really important. And that creates so much friction within relationships, and Prabhupada said even wars, like collective wars between countries, are all based on this meat-eating. So what I'm saying is, what religious institution is propagating that? Practically none. Now you could say there's other groups who are propagating vegetarianism, veganism, stuff like that, but they're also not propagating God consciousness. The monkeys, who else is the giraffes are also vegetarian. What else? The birds, whatever. I don't know. The point is, there's animals that are vegetarians. So without God consciousness, what's the big deal? But of course, it is a step in the mode of goodness. But so what I'm saying is that when it comes down to it, devotees have to try to think about this, that who else out there is really going to help people, like on ultimately help people, come closer to who they are, realizing who they are. In other words, we are. So therefore, Prabhupada would say, Yari dekataka Krishna Badesh Amaragai Guru Hoitari Desh. Wherever you go, whoever you meet, you tell them about Krishna and become a guru and liberate the land. So that is an injunction for all of us. That's everybody sitting in this room, everybody not sitting in this room. It's for everybody. That we're supposed to become gurus, diksha or siksha, or some type of guru, vartma padarshaka, do something to help people come to Krishna. And if we could just do that with our life, even to a small degree, big degree, medium degree, some degree, Krishna will be so happy, Prabhupada will be so happy, the Charyas will be so happy, and we're pushing people in the right direction for God's sake. So this is really important, that we understand that Krishna consciousness is where it is, where people are going to be happy, and people need this knowledge, and people need to be taught so many different things. And practically speaking, even other religious institutions may not be teaching the stuff that they need to know. So therefore we should try to get serious about that. And again, as we've heard so many times, and as we'll hear so many times, life is very short. Right? Life is very short. You're 5, and then you're 10, and then you're 20, and then you're 30, and then you're 50, and then you're 70, and then you're 80, and then maybe you don't make it past that. That's it. Quick. So we really have to try our best just to cast all this, lower mode stuff off, and just focus on Krishna, and trying to propagate the glories of Krishna. Because the world, as we know it, is, of course, it's not black and white, but a lot of people, they're not on a good path. So we have to try to direct them to the good path, Krishna consciousness. All right, so does anyone have any questions or comments about anything? I heard that there's a rumor around that Bhakti Zach and Bhakti Jamal are going to take the ISKCON Disciples course. That's what I heard. Is that true? Huh? Find some way to do it. Damodar Kumar did it. Oh, really? You did it online, right? ISKCON Disciples course. I heard there's a rumor that Jamal and Zach are going to do the ISKCON Disciples course. I heard that they're going to take it. Are you two going to start it and take it? Well, how about you sign up this morning? You can just do it online. It's not a big deal. How long did it take you online? Mukunda took a month. Yeah, there's no, I mean, because you could do it at your own pace, right? Yeah, so if you, Zach wants to do it quick, but, oh, you could do it quick. So you could do it in a month online, or you could do it in, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, so if you want to do it quick, that's up to you, Baba. So it's up to you. But, you know, if you want to, which I would think, I think that both of you are heading in that direction. If you want to do it, you should just do it, you know. Anyways, that's so. All right, so Janmashtami is coming up. So the idea is we're going to have a meeting today, as brief as possible, but efficient, brief, but productive meeting about Janmashtami, and just arranging services and schedules at 10 a.m. this morning. Yeah, we got the clipboard and iPad, all that type of stuff. All right, Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.